Transcript. I first met Mrs. Bennet on the coldest morning of the year. I had just moved into the small apartment complex on Maple Street. New job, new city, no friends, no family nearby. I was 26 and thought independence would feel like freedom. Instead, it felt like silence. That morning, I was struggling to get my old heater to work when there was a gentle knock on the door. When I opened it, there she was, a tiny woman in her late 70s, silver hair in a neat bun, holding a steaming cup in both hands. "It's freezing out here," she said with a smile that could warm anyone's soul. "You look like you could use a bit of tea." That's how it began, a simple cup of tea. Every morning after that, at precisely 8:30, there would be a soft knock. I'd open the door to find Mrs. Bennet standing there with her floral mug and that same gentle smile. Sometimes she stayed to chat. Sometimes she just handed me the tea and wished me a good day. We didn't talk about anything extraordinary. The weather, my new job, the noisy upstairs neighbors. But in a city that often felt too busy to notice anyone, her small kindness became the best part of my day. One morning, about 2 months later, I realized she hadn't come by. No knock, no tea. I tried to shake it off, but something felt wrong. I went to her apartment, 2 doors down, and knocked. After a long pause, I heard her voice, weak but steady. "Come in, dear." She was sitting on the couch, wrapped in a blanket. Her face was pale and her hands were trembling slightly. She smiled anyway. "I'm sorry I didn't bring your tea this morning," she said. "I wasn't feeling too well." I offered to make her breakfast to call someone to stay, but she waved me off. "Don't worry, I'll be fine. Just a little dizzy. Happens sometimes." Still, I couldn't shake the worry. From that day, I started bringing her tea. Weeks went by. Mrs. Bennet got better, or at least she pretended to. We'd sit together by her window overlooking the street, watching people rush by, always in a hurry. She'd tell me stories about her late husband who used to sing Sinatra while cooking, about her garden she missed from her old house, about how she still wrote letters to her daughter even though she never sent them. One afternoon, I asked why she never mailed those letters. She hesitated, then said softly, "Sometimes people leave before you're ready to say goodbye. But writing helps me feel close to her, even if she's not there to read them." There was something in her eyes, a quiet kind of sadness mixed with peace. I didn't press further. Then, one morning, everything changed. It was Sunday, the one day she never brought tea because she went to church early. But that day at 8:30 sharp, there was a knock on my door. When I opened it, Mrs. Bennet stood there holding not one cup, but a small tray with tea, biscuits, and a folded piece of paper underneath. "I wanted to bring you something more than tea today," she said softly. "Sit with me." We sat together at my small kitchen table. She poured the tea, her hands a little unsteady, but her eyes calm. After a quiet sip, she slid the folded paper toward me. "I wrote you a letter," she said. "For when I'm not around." I froze. "Don't say that." "Oh, I'm not planning to go anywhere," she smiled gently. "But one never knows, does one?" I didn't know what to say, so I didn't. We just sat there sipping tea, letting the silence fill the room like an old song. 2 days later, I noticed the ambulance lights flashing outside my window. My heart sank. Mrs. Bennet had passed away peacefully in her sleep. The next morning, my door felt colder, heavier. No knock, no tea, just silence again, but a silence that hurt this time. That's when I remembered the letter. I opened it with trembling hands. Her handwriting was neat and careful. "Dear Alex, thank you for letting an old woman feel useful again. You may not realize it, but you gave me something precious, company. You reminded me that kindness doesn't fade with age. It only changes shape. I've left you my tea set. Keep the tradition alive. And whenever you share a cup with someone new, think of it as passing on a little warmth from me. Love, Mrs. Bennet." I sat there crying, not because I'd lost her, but because she had given me something I didn't know I needed, a reason to care again. A few weeks later, I started a new ritual. Every morning at 8:30, I brewed 2 cups of tea, one for me and one for whoever needed it. Sometimes it was the mailman, sometimes a neighbor passing by, sometimes just a stranger sitting alone on the bench outside. Each time I'd tell them about Mrs. Bennet, the woman who believed that a simple cup of tea could change a day, maybe even a life.